Welcome to Universal Interiors. I am Uni Fegley with Adventure Specialist Tim Barberg. He works for J.M. Kremp's Adventure Store near the cities. We are going to be talking about camping is our big thing today, the interior of a tent, what you do to make your camping experience amazing. So where do we start out?
Well, one, you're going to want to find a place to camp, and so there's a lot of different types of campgrounds you can go to. What I love about camping is a lot of kids start when they're young, and Oren, my son, we take him into our basement. You know, in the winter time, a kid might get a little pup tent for Christmas, and well, you can't go camping in the winter time, but we'll take Oren in the basement and set up his little pup tent, and he's camping already. And that's not my idea of camping, but that's where you get your kids started, and from there it goes to the backyard, and that's kind of what we're going to talk about today. We have a tent set up here, and this is a family tent, so we're going to kind of talk about family camping. We chose this location here for a variety of reasons. You want to think about your campsite location in regards to your setting, trees, the lake. We got a beautiful view of the lake here. The woods in the background. We want to get a breeze because we all know mosquitoes in Minnesota are horrendous, and so you want to be in a location where you'll get a breeze and keep those bugs away.
Nice.
And so that's kind of why we chose this location here. You don't want to be right under a tree. You also want to look up in the tree and realize there's not any hanging branches, so if the wind picked up, you know, that might fall, or the tree is cracked. So things like that you always kind of have to be thinking about in regards to setup. Then you want to find a nice flat ground, clear sticks. Those are the obvious things about camping, but going into the deeper levels of camping, it's really, you know, you're going to bring your kids. Camping's not as popular as it once was. All the luxuries of today's world, you know, have kind of pulled people away from the idea of camping. One big one that's really interesting is the air conditioner. The invention of the air conditioner has pulled people indoors, and that was many years ago. And then the video games and electronics came along, and TV, and then people have stayed indoors. And so we're trying to get people back out camping again.
I like it.
And so the concept of setting up is, you know, obviously the location, and then thinking about the elements. And so
that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, elements, Mother Nature, MN, Minnesota, MN, Mother Nature. They go hand in hand, and so big ones are going to be rain, which, you know, thunderstorms, wind. Wind's another big one, and heat. And so this is a good tent because it's nice and airy. I have another tent that we use. It's only good for the spring and the fall because it doesn't breathe real well and it gets too hot. As soon as the sun hits, it's an oven. And so those are also things to think about in regards to heat. In regards to rain, you want one, if you're in a rain season, you want one that's going to keep the rain out.
So you have some products you brought with.
Yep, yep.
You want to go over some of them and just kind of...
Sure.
This looks like a mother's favorite.
This is Mama's favorite. It's called the Base Camp Bureau. And if you like to be organized, which a lot of people do, camping can have a lot of stuff. And, you know, it's hard to stay organized, especially when you have kids. And so this was developed, and it's this concept of this big carrier, and then inside of the carrier is all these little bintos, they call them. And this one happens to have 4 of them, and has a little place for a paper, so you can put Sue's name and Kenny's name and Mom and Dad, and you can keep your stuff organized and put it right in. And so this is good for family camping, just drive up camping.
Sure.
Double stove, a double burner stove. This is nice. It actually folds up, kind of keeps all the grease and stuff inside. It's a quarter of the size of most double burner stoves, so it's good and compact, and It's got a handle for carrying. So they're coming up with new things that are geared towards families and just making things easier.
I like this.
Absolutely.
It's your own little kettle.
Yeah. Everything you need to feed 6 people is in there for a you know, whole week or whatever you're doing for camping.
Are these plastic or tin?
Yep, plastic, and then stainless on the pots and pans. And then the fry pan is a little different there. Here's a concept of course, kitchen duty. No one likes kitchen duty, at least I don't. But this makes it easy by having kind of all your little kitchen things compact in one little zippered compartment. Really nice. So
this is amazing. This is Explore the Stars. You want to talk about that guy a little bit?
Absolutely. So there's all the basics of camping, but then you got to get to the point where we're going to have fun camping. You got your kids out, they need to have a fun experience, and so there's lots of different ways that we can incorporate our natural settings into different things that are going to give the kids a fun time. This one is actually called the Star Finder, and it's all about the constellations. So at night you can be there with your little headlamp, and you can be looking at this, and you actually adjust it to what month you're in, and then you can dial it in to which direction you're facing, and it's a mirror image of the constellations you see in the sky. It's kind of laid out right here on the Star Finder.
That is amazing.
Yep.
That's so cool.
And other activities for at night, here's a meteor light, kind of a ball you can throw around camp. It glows in the dark. Here's a lighted up, actually it's a frisbee, and it's called a disco frisbee, and so it changes from reds to greens to blues as it flies in the air.
Oh, wow.
So just fun activities for the campsite. If you're into nature, bug finder, you know, there's all the bugs around. Some people don't like them, while some people are intrigued by them. So
this is like a little...
It's a magnifier. So it's a compartment where you can trap the bug in.
Oh, wow.
And then you can magnify and look at it and observe it.
And this little guy makes it
and then
bigger.
Release it, yep. And then you can release that and it'll be free.
That is amazing.
Yeah. Another real popular one, and it's great for the family, especially teenagers. Okay, let's say you got teenagers. Your kids are probably getting right about there. That's that age where, you know, it's tough. Mom and dad aren't as cool. And, you know, what can I do with my teenagers that we're all going to have a fun time? And there's a couple things out there. Geocaching is getting to be hugely popular. There are now 1 million caches that people have placed throughout the world.
Really?
And you take a GPS unit. This one is solely just for geocaching, so it's got a really good price point. And so good for kids, real kid friendly. You can go out and find these caches, these geocaches that have been placed all over. Just hundreds of them in Minnesota alone,
really?
So probably thousands. So
and
just fun activities.
Who doesn't need a rope when you're camping? Ropes are for anything, and this is a little ring toss?
Yep. Just basically rip beer bottles and pop bottles, and you throw these rings on it, and so just a fun activity for the campsite.
That is fun.
Around the fire at night, harmonica.
Harmonica.
It's even got a CD to learn how to play it, so you sound somewhat okay when you get out there. And this one's really fun. It's a ice cream maker.
Oh, yes.
And this one makes a pint. There's also one that makes a quart. And here's chocolate fudge flavoring. So lots of fun activities for the family.
That is so neat. That is great. Well, camping is very important. Do you have anything to just add to this, like?
Absolutely. We just need to get outside, you know, like we were talking about the air conditioners before. People need to get back outside, enjoy their surroundings and understand their surroundings. Yeah. And there's so much out there to enjoy, but we're so distracted by everything the world has to offer with electronics and sports. So
Minnesota is the camping place. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that we have made your camp feel a lot more, giving you some ideas. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Tim.
You bet.
Have a good day.